We're gonna put our apron on. That way you know that we are getting serious. Quickly being the what is the word? The opportune word? No? It's too far away from me, I cannot see.
Do you want me to get you a step stool?
Why can I not find words?
I don't know.
Hey y'all, hey, Erica with TimetoShrink. It is time for another meal prep, y'all. Today's meal prep is gonna kind of be a 2-day long meal prep. So basically it's like 2 meal preps in one. So let me show you what we're gonna do today, and then obviously tomorrow I'll share with you what we do tomorrow. Come on. So today we are gonna hard boil a lot of eggs and make some deviled eggs. I have this big thing of chopped salad kit. If I take out the flax chips and the dried corn, this is really keto friendly. I may just make it with the dressing that comes with it, or we'll save the dressing that comes with it for another salad. And then what I set out here was what I'm gonna need for deviled eggs and for our coleslaw. So we've got our sugar substitute, our mayonnaise, our red wine vinegar. We need some avocado oil, Erica. I said the wrong word. We need some apple cider vinegar and some yellow mustard. I think we also need some dill relish. Y'all, I broke my toe, so I'm hobbling. When your big, huge bathtub gets misplaced because of a plumbing issue, y'all go watch that vlog. It should already be up. It was last week. But I broke my toe on my tub, y'all. Okay, dill relish. We don't have very much of that. I wonder if we have another one. We'll have to see if we have another one, but oh gosh. I have to like slide, y'all. Slide. Slide with me. Slide with me. All right. And then we've got this huge pork loin. They did not have any pork chops, so I bought this pork loin. We're gonna cut it up into different cuts, and we'll marinate some of them and package it up. And that's what we're gonna get done today. I have to break it up because, you know, broken toe. All right, let's do it. All right, y'all, I have this huge boneless pork loin. This is $25, $2.69 a pound, and we're at 9.5 pounds. So we're going to chop this up into a few different cuts. And this actually gives you like cut your own and save instructions and some recipes. I don't know, we may try some of them. Some orange and cumin pork chops, that sounds really good. Or a chimichurri pork roast, that sounds really good too, y'all. Okay, let's get to chopping. We've got a little janky setup going on, y'all, because my cutting boards don't match each other. So what I'm gonna do is, first, I'm going to take my pork and I'm going to trim the little excess fat over the top. There's a little bit of excess fat on this one, so we're going to trim that. So I'm just cutting off the fat cap. We don't need all of this fat on here. It's okay to have a little bit of layer of fat, but I would get the majority of it off. All right, I think that's good enough. So I'm just going to break through these real quick into pork chops. The cool thing about this is you can make them however thick or thin you want. You could do a variety of thicknesses. That's the cool part about getting to cut your own. It definitely saves you a little bit of money, but it definitely does not save you time. So we didn't really have a choice this time, so we're gonna go ahead and chop them into, we like to do pretty thin slices for grilling because it marinates really quickly, it thaws really quickly, it grills really quickly. Quickly being the what is the word? The opportune word? No? Quickly being the theme? Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about, y'all. So you just kind of figure out what thickness you want. Y'all, I need to have my knife sharpened. So I'm gonna do, I don't know, maybe I wanna do a little thinner than that. It's hard to do. Harder than I thought it was gonna be to get thin. Okay, so there we go. So I'm just gonna keep going, keep them about this thin, and then we'll throw them in baggies and marinate them different ways. So y'all, I was able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meals out of that pork loin. I'm just going to marinate each one of these in a different marinade. I just showed marinades recently. We'll tag it up here above so you can go check those out. But basically, my ratio is 3 ounces of oil to 2 ounces of acid. So that could be apple cider vinegar, red wine vinegar, lemon juice, sherry cooking wine, any kind of acidic thing. And then for my oils, I usually use olive oil or avocado oil. And then the spices, like your imagination is the only limit on those. So 3 ounces of olive oil or oil to 2 ounces of vinegar. And then I usually do about a tablespoon worth of seasoning for 2 pounds of pork. So I'm not exactly sure how many pounds this is, but I cut them to make 10 pieces per serving. We have 5 of us, so that should give us plenty for dinner, maybe some leftovers. Not usually. What I'm probably, why can I not find words?
I don't know.
I'm trying to say that it's not likely that it's going to happen.
Very.
Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is what I'm looking for. Probably wishful thinking that there'll be leftovers. But I did 10 pork chops per bag. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling already, y'all. All right, I'm just going to knock this out and then we'll move on to making some hard-boiled eggs. So once I've marinated it, always make sure that I label it so we know what's in it. And then I do them flat as possible. So these are stacked on top of each other. And I like to freeze them flat because they not only is all of the marinade touching everything without having to use way too much marinade and waste your precious ingredients, but also when you go to thaw it, because there's more surface area, it thaws much, much faster. This literally will thaw in like an hour, hour and a half max. So you can totally pull it out when you get home from work, even if you didn't plan ahead, and have these being grilled or baked or sauteed or whatever you want to do with them within a couple hours. I'm gonna have Jack put those in the freezer for me. I decided to leave 1 pack plain because we also like to do breaded pork chops with my keto crumbs. So I'm gonna leave 1 plain, and we're actually gonna use it a little later in the week. So I'm just gonna put this one in the refrigerator. And then I have like little ends and pieces and bits, and I didn't want to waste them. So I cut them into like bite-sized portions. And I think I'm probably either gonna saute these or I may bread them and air fry them, something like that. So this, I'm not gonna put any marinade on either because I don't know exactly what my plan is for these. So this gave us 5 meals for 5 people for $25. So that's like $1 a person. Can't really beat that, y'all. Really good. Okay, we're gonna clean this up and move on. Today we're just gonna do typical Instant Pot eggs. Y'all have seen me do these before. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. So it's 5 minutes of pressure, 5 minutes of natural release, do the quick release, and then 5 minutes in an egg bath. So I've already put a cup of water in the bottom of this. I'm just gonna line it with eggs, and then when it's finished, we will make some deviled eggs. Jason decided he just wanted Southern deviled eggs because we have all of these different fresh jacks, like pepper, spicy salts right now. So he thought if I just did the standard Southern, then he could doctor them up with the different salts per egg. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh, I do have a video, a deviled egg video with like 5 different really cool deviled eggs, like Bloody Mary deviled eggs. That was a really cool one, and a bunch of different ones. So we will link that up above here in the iCards, wherever that might be, and down below, so you can go check that out. But today we're just gonna make the standard Southern in the standard typical Instant Pot manner. Let me get this going. Make sure it's on sealing, not on venting, always on sealing. And some Instant Pots have an egg button. That's perfect. I don't, so I just do manual for 5 minutes. I got this mix. This is new to us. It's from Costco, Organic Avocado Ranch Chopped Kit. And when I looked at the back, it's pretty low carb. And I think the carbs are pretty much all coming from the crackers and the corn. So we're gonna toss this. But it also came with a packet of avocado and a thing of avocado ranch. So I'm gonna set the avocado to the side. We'll use it on something else. And I am going to kind of combine this with a few other things and kind of make our own coleslaw. So I'm gonna dump all of this cabbage. I like that it's already cut up really, really small. I like that for coleslaws. So this has just cabbage, and it does have some carrots, some kale, just a bunch of different things. So this will be a little bit different coleslaw. I'm gonna open this avocado ranch packet and just use the whole thing. We're gonna throw that in there. Then I'm gonna take some habanero lime from Fresh Jack's, because this has been our jam lately. It's so tasty. I'm just gonna sprinkle some of that over just a little bit, and I'm also gonna add a little bit of this smoky Southwest just to change up, make the flavor the way I want it to be. And then I also have some cilantro that needs to get used, so I'm just gonna put all of that cilantro that I had left in there. It also has a little cheddar cheese packet, but I'm not vibing with the cheese with this, so I'm gonna leave that out. We'll use that another time as well. And then we're just gonna toss this. All right, we're gonna toss this together and then we'll taste it. I may actually add a juice of some lime to it too, because we have a lot of limes right now. I am not sure. We're just gonna toss, put it in the refrigerator, let it sit for a while, then we'll taste it and decide. because this is a brand new mix to me. We've never used this one. So I don't want to do too much messing with it until I've tasted it. And when you're doing any kind of coleslaw, any kind of cold salad, the dressing really needs to sit for at least half an hour to an hour before you really know what it's actually going to taste like, because all of the salad greens have to kind of absorb the liquid. So I highly recommend not over seasoning things, tasting it, and then seasoning more if you need it, especially with salt. All right, so here's what she's looking like. I'm gonna put her in the refrigerator and we'll check on her later. Got all my eggs in the ice. I'm gonna let it sit here till it's completely cooled and then we can make deviled eggs. All right, y'all, I'm gonna throw this in here. It's almost up to temperature, not quite, that's okay. And we're gonna let that go. That's gonna be dinner tonight. Our eggs are good to go. We're gonna let them get a little bit colder and then we'll peel them and we can make deviled eggs. And that is all we're gonna, actually, I think I'm gonna stop at this stage today. We're gonna peel these and store them. Tomorrow we'll do the rest of the meal prep, y'all. All right, y'all, it is day 2 of filming, and as life in quarantine is so strange, I've got a full face of makeup on for you. Well, no, this was the quick 5-minute face makeup on with my pajamas, with my broken toe, so in big socks, but we're just gonna roll with it. It is also dark, dark, dark and stormy, so we're having to use some lights today. So sometimes the lights make my white kitchen like glow, so just bear with us, bear with us. Okay, we're gonna put our apron on. That way you know that we are getting serious and down to business. So I have a bunch of garlic here. I'm going to roast it. I'll show you how I do my roasted garlic. We're going to do that in the oven at the same time as our bacon over here. And we are going to use this Bad Byron's butt rub on the bacon because I am totally out of the rosy cheeks and it hasn't come in. I have an order, but it hasn't come in from Fresh Jack's, y'all. I am out of some of my favorite Fresh Jack stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay. Back to these biscuits. We made these recently for y'all, but we are going to add some of sweetener to it, and it is going to make it a sweet biscuit. And then we're going to cut up some strawberries and make like a strawberry syrup type thing for strawberry shortcake to go with after dinner one night this week. I have all this stuff out for my deviled eggs. We hard-boiled eggs yesterday, so they're just hanging out in here waiting for us to turn them into deviled eggs. And I think that's all we're doing today, y'all. That's what we're going to finish up with today, y'all. And let's just dive into it and get started on this second day of food prep. We have our bacon, and I put a whole pack of thick cut bacon on this baking sheet. And then I'm going to use this Bad Byron's butt rub and just kind of sprinkle. And this does not have any sugar in it at all. So I'm going to take some of this Super and Gold. This is my absolute favorite brown sugar alternative. I love it. I'm just sprinkling just a small amount of this sugar substitute. And then I'm just kind of going to use my hands and kind of pat everything in. If you wanted to, you could do this on both sides, but I'm not really worried about getting it on both sides. I just kind of want the taste of this combination. So that is all ready, and we're going to throw that in the oven real quick. I like to start my bacon in a cold oven, so I had just turned it on, but it's going to go up to 400 degrees. Now we're going to roast our garlic. Okay, so basically I just slice the top off of this. I do that on each one. So what I do is I put it in the middle of some aluminum foil, and then I take some olive oil and I just drizzle a good amount, like really cover those suckers. So a good amount, and then we are going to fold it up. Just like a tight little package. Now we're gonna take this and just throw it in the oven. Same oven as the bacon. There we go. It is dark and gloomy and rainy, and Jackson and I are feeling it. It's making us so tired. Jack's making cup number 2 of coffee, and I'm going in on my second Zip Fizz of the day. We really are struggling with being tired and not being very like animated and up and hyped for meal prep like we like to be. So I'm gonna sip on this Zip Fizz. I have to clean the kitchen up a little bit, and then we'll keep going. So I'm just cleaning up the countertop in between the bacon and making biscuits. I use On Guard from doTERRA, y'all. I absolutely love it. It smells awesome, and it is such a good antibacterial cleaner. I absolutely love it. I don't know if you you can get it on, you might be able to get it on Amazon still too, but I do get it just from the doTERRA website, but I don't sell it or anything. I just really am a fan of doTERRA products. So it's like an essential oil based thing. Okay, so we have a clean surface. We've guzzled some caffeine. We're gonna try and keep on rolling, keep on trucking, y'all. All right, we are going to make keto biscuits, but we are going to take this low carb biscuit mix, which is our favorite biscuit mix, and make it a little sweet so that it will be good for strawberry shortcake, which is what I'm really wanting. That's what I'm craving. So what we're gonna do is, it's simple. It's literally just mix this baking mix with some water and some heavy cream. So I'm gonna dump that in, and then you need 5 ounces of water, and then 8 ounces of heavy cream. And then I'm just gonna take some sweetener. This is, I think it's Lakanto sweetener. I'm just gonna put, you can do however much you want to make it sweet. I think I'm just gonna do 2 spoons and stir it up, and then I'm gonna taste the dough and see if it's sweet enough. If not, I'll just add a little bit more. And another thing, last time we made these, we made them savory style, and we mixed sausage and bacon in with it. Oh my gosh, and cheese. They were so good, but they spread out quite a bit. So I think I'm going to mix this up, and then I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes so that when it goes into the oven, it's nice and like really cold. I'm thinking that is going to maybe make it not spread out quite as much. Although, I mean, it doesn't really matter if it spreads out. I just am trying to make it as pretty of a biscuit as I can, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna taste this and see how sweet it is. Just a little bite. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit more. And obviously this stuff is completely optional. You can still make strawberry shortcakes with plain biscuits and not have sweetened your biscuit at all, but I'm just wanting to try this out. The negative drawback on these biscuits are twofold, y'all. One, there is some gluten in it, so it is not super anti-inflammatory keto. And number 2, they're so freaking delicious. My entire family eats them. And so instead of them being special just for me, they love them so much that they all eat them too. So I have to share, y'all. That's how good these are. They're worth it every once in a while. They really are, in my opinion. All right, going in the fridge. A little bit of caffeine, and we're gonna go straight for our eggs. I'm just going to slice these in half, put my yolks in my bowl, and put my egg halves right back into this pan over here. And I'll be right back with you. I don't think you want to watch me do this. This part's a little boring. I have a little trick that makes this super easy. So the first thing you do is just put all your yellows in a bowl and just mash them up a little bit. We're not looking to get it smooth yet, so just mash it up a little bit. I do have my egg salad recipe, my Instant Pot hard-boiled eggs and my egg salad recipe in my e-course, and that's always linked down below if you want to go check it out. It is full of Instant Pot recipes and just quick and easy meals. A lot of sheet pan meals, things like that. So we are going to make up our basic egg salad. Not egg salad. We're going to make up our basic deviled egg. Now, let me just say, I have a deviled egg video that has 5 different really unique, delicious deviled eggs, including like a Bloody Mary deviled egg. It is on point, y'all. So today I'm just going to make my typical plain Southern deviled egg. I'll have linked up above the video of all the deviled eggs. It is so yummy, and I have all the recipes and everything for you. My basic recipe is mayonnaise to a little bit of red wine vinegar, 2 teaspoons of red wine vinegar, and I like to use about a tablespoon of dill relish. Make sure you get dill pickle relish, and not sweet relish, unless you can find a sweet relish that's made with like Splenda or some other sweetener. It will have way too many carbs. And we are keeping these at a very low carb recipe. All right, so we've got our mayonnaise, we've got a little bit of red wine vinegar, we've got our dill pickle relish. We're gonna go in with some mustard, probably about a tablespoon of that. Go in with some actual dill weed, just however much you want of dill, and then just some salt and pepper to taste, whatever amount you like. I'm not gonna put too much salt because my husband has been obsessed with the Fresh Jack's salts that are spiced, like habanero or ghost pepper. So what he will end up doing is sprinkling some of those, whatever flavor he wants, right on top of this. So you're just going to briefly get this mixed just so that it's mixed together. But we're not trying to smooth it out yet, okay? So If you like your eggs to be a little bit on the sweet side, like you like not the dill relish, but you're more into like the sweet relish, you can totally add a half a tablespoon or a couple teaspoons of sugar substitute to this. And that is, sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. It just depends on what I'm feeling. I'm gonna get this mixed. This next step is a trick that I learned from one of my subscribers, and I think is so smart. She just takes the eggs mixture and puts it into a Ziploc bag. So you're just gonna use a spatula so you don't lose any of that goodness. And you're just gonna throw it into a Ziploc bag. Now we're going to shut our Ziploc bag. You're going to take your scissors and cut off a corner. Don't make it too big because it'll come out too fast. Oh! Don't cut your corner before you've mushed up your, we're gonna still make it work. Okay, the first thing you do once you put it in your baggie, your Ziploc baggie, is you're gonna use your hands and you're gonna mush it all up together. I'm just holding my corner up, y'all. Don't cut the corner until you've done this step. Oh, y'all know I'm always a little bit of hot mess express around here. So what I do, oh my gosh. And you're supposed to shut your Ziploc. Oh my gosh, y'all. I might not even want to show you this. I'm really embarrassed. Hold on and let me try and fix my mess. So you're just going to mush all of it up together until it's a nice consistency. It's so hard to get your egg salad a good consistency just by mixing it in the bowl. And this allows you to do that. So once you've got it to where you feel like it's really nice and mixed and creamy, then you're going to cut your corner. Cut your corner. And then you're just going to, I'm going to push all of this down because we don't want to lose any of it. So I'm just pushing it down to the bottom of my bag first because we want all of this goodness. All right, so you get it all pushed to your corner and then you're going to twist your bag so that you have like a piping bag, basically. All right, now we are going to pipe. You're going to take your piping bag all the way to the bottom of the egg and then twirl your way up like that. We're going to do that with each one. And if you wanted to make a bunch of different deviled eggs, you could do little mini Ziploc bags and just fill up each Ziploc bag with the ingredients that you want and just do a few at a time. Here's another little trick that I do. I take my paprika that I'm going to put on the top and I put it in one of these little, basically this is for like tea, but I use it almost exclusively for this. It has tiny little holes in the bottom, so you just tap and it puts the perfect paprika sprinkle right over the top. I love to use this for this purpose. You totally can use it with dried tea, but how perfect. Because it's so hard to sprinkle paprika without getting like a glob of paprika. All right, y'all. Again, welcome to the Hot Mess Express week 2, apparently. I totally forgot my bacon. It's not burnt, but it totally could have been because I totally forgot. Let me get this out of here. It smells so good, y'all. The roasted garlic is going to take longer, but oh, that looks good. How good does that look, Jack? Yum. We're going to put this over here to cool. We're going to clean this up, pull the biscuits out of the refrigerator, and plop them in here. I'm going to flip it to 350 degrees. The garlic is very forgiving, so it'll be fun to go down to 350 for a while, and then if it's not quite done, we'll put it back up when the biscuits come out. This has been in the refrigerator for a good 10 minutes, I think. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, even if it's just 5. I'm going to form these biscuits almost like a ball in hopes that they're not going to spread out a ton. But, okay, Hazel. Chill out, baby girl. Nobody's even here. All right, I think this says it's supposed to make 10 biscuits. We'll just see how many we get. It just depends on what size you want them to be. I made a quick egg wash, y'all. It's just egg and water, and then I'm going to take this paintbrush, and I'm just going to paint the top of these a little bit to see if it just helps them with the browning and the coloration, just to make them a little prettier. This is not a necessary step. You also could paint them with melted butter if you wanted. I have never tried this on these particular biscuits. Got our biscuits formed and we brushed the top, so let's throw them in the 350-degree oven for 12 minutes and we'll check them and see if we need to go farther. We're going to pull this out. Hot, 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 hot. Okay, the next step that you do with this after they've been sitting for quite a while in there and softening up is you just open your foil pack. Ha, that's real hot, y'all. Okay, you're gonna open your foil packet and then you're gonna put them back in to finish roasting like this. And once they get all toasty and roasted color, like darker in color, and they literally start pushing themselves up out, that's when you know they're done. Okay, we're gonna, you know what? We're not gonna throw those back in until these are done. We don't want garlic sweet biscuits. So these are not going back in yet. I'm gonna tighten them back up and they'll go in when we pull the biscuits out. I'm stuffing my bacon in a little container to eat on later, and I'm going to taste this, y'all. Let's see what this one tastes like. What time is it? I'm not supposed to break my fast till 5, but we're going to taste. Super delicious. I have to say, I like the rosy cheeks from Fresh Jack's on bacon better, but this is quite good also. I'm getting ready to prep some strawberries. I was going to take my bacon grease and remind y'all, always keep your bacon grease. But because this had the spices in it, I'm not going to keep the bacon grease this time. But the other thing I want to show y'all, this is why I use foil when I make bacon. You literally just wrap it up and throw it away. This is completely clean. It's just a nice little fun hack. So I just wanted to show y'all, this is one of my favorite little kitchen tools. It is a strawberry huller. I did not replace it after our fire, and it came to strawberry season again this year, and I searched high and low, and I finally did find it on Amazon. So I'll link it below. But basically, it just digs out the core for you, and then you don't lose all that strawberry, because when you use a knife, you end up cutting off a lot of good strawberry. So it just kind of digs in and cuts out the amount that you want. And I'm just going to throw them in this strainer, and then we'll wash them off really well. I did want to show y'all this because I absolutely love it for keeping berries. You can keep any kind of veggies in this. It's a veggie saver, but it is my favorite. Of all the different brands that I've tried, I think this one works the best. But basically, it has a top and a bottom that are plastic, and you can fill it up with berries. And it tells you keep it open for herbs, lettuce, peas, peppers, beans, blah, blah, blah. Keep it closed for berries or asparagus. So you just close the little vent, and then you put your top on, and it keeps them for a good while. I really, really like this container. I will try and find it and link it below. I'm going to take these berries and just kind of cut them up into smaller pieces, and then I am going to add a little bit of brown sugar, the Sucre and Gold brown sugar alternative to it, and heat them up and kind of make like a little berry compote to have with our strawberry shortcakes. So I'm going to finish doing this, and then I'll show you how I make the berry compote. These biscuits are done, and they look perfect. Putting them in the refrigerator for a bit made them stay more formed and not spread out quite as much as the last times I made it. So we're gonna let these guys cool and then come back here and we're gonna make our strawberry compote. So I'm just gonna take my cut up strawberries and put them in here. If you're counting your macros very closely right now, you could totally measure every step of this and know exactly how much a serving would be, but we're gonna kind of go lazy keto today. All right, you can go in with any kind of sugar substitute that you want. I have this open, so I'm just going to use it. This is the Sucre and Gold. This is the Sucre and Gold brown sugar alternative. We're going to go in with 2 tablespoons because my berries are really sweet because they're in season right now. You really need to taste your berries to see how much you need, but we're going to start with just that. We're going to let this kind of melt down over a medium-low heat, and we'll be back and show you what it looks like. Totally forgot. You always want to add a pinch of salt to anything sweet that you're making. It kind of helps balance it. We have one of these little whipped cream canisters. I haven't used it in a while, but instead of making a whipped cream in the KitchenAid, I'm just going to use this, and we'll have it for our strawberry shortcakes over the next few days. So what I'm going to do is pour in some heavy cream into this, and then I'm going to sweeten it with a little bit of vanilla stevia drops, because we are going to be using it in applications that would be nice for it to be sweet. I'm just kind of going to stir that around. And then what you do, all you do is you put your top on. You have to get these little nitrous oxide packs, but Amazon sells them. And what you do is you put it on here, and then there's just a little twisty thing, and you twist, 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 twist until you hear it inject. And then you just shake it up with the nitrous oxide in there. And we have found that if it sits in the refrigerator for a few hours before you use it to get super cold, it works way better. Now, once the nitrous oxide is all the way in, you just take that back off. You don't leave that cartridge on. So we just throw that away. But when I took the biscuits out, I put this back up to 400. So I'm gonna open this little package again, the roasted garlic package, and put it back in there for another at least 20 minutes probably. You wanna get it nice and really golden brown and roasty. All right, let's check on our strawberries. So this is starting to melt down a little bit and form a little bit of a liquid. If you had a potato masher, that would be perfect to kind of mash this up a little bit, but I don't. I am going to add a lime, the juice of 1 lime. It'll just help give it some brightness, y'all. If you don't have a lime, you can skip this step. You also could zest the lime, but I didn't think of that till just right now. But it just helps give it a nice freshness. Another thing you could do to this is, if you want to make it more like a jam than a compote, you could totally put in a couple tablespoons of chia seeds, and as they expanded, it would make it into like a jam. That would be wonderful. But we're just going to make it kind of like a liquidy compote. We're going to let it break down, and then we're going to let it boil just a little bit to really like condense down. Look at that yummy garlic. See how much it started like pulling up out of it? So we're going to let this cool, and then we will just put all of this roasted garlic in a bowl, and we'll have it. We could freeze it, or we can put it in the refrigerator. It's so soft. Okay. So once I get the garlic in here, what I do is I just use the back of a spoon and I just mash it up until it's one paste. It's really, really soft, super good. And then here is our strawberry compote with the lime. That lime juice makes all the difference, y'all. I will show y'all how this is when we put it on the strawberry shortcakes. But if I have leftover, I'm totally going to add some chia seeds and turn it into jam. I don't know if I'll have leftover or not though. All right, here is our strawberry shortcake. I cut my biscuit in half. We put some of the whipped cream on there. And then now we're putting some of the strawberry lime compote. It's mainly strawberry. You don't really taste the lime much. It just gives it some freshness. So we're putting a little bit of the compote right there in the middle. That's probably good. We're going to put the top on. Yum. How cute is that? And then you could drizzle a little bit on top if you wanted, but it will be not as pretty. But before you eat it. Yum. All right, y'all, that is the end of meal prep. I put everything away before I showed y'all, but I am so tired. I'm so tired. So I'm just going to end it here. I hope y'all enjoyed that, and I will see you again really soon. Be blessed, y'all.